So I've just been working with a student on exploring football transfers in 2014. I'm recording this video for the student in case they forgot what we did, but anyone should be able to follow along. It's quite easy. We googled for English football transfers 2014 Wikipedia to find this top hit, and then this is a data set we used, which basically has the name of the player, the club that they came from, and the club that they moved to. So we wanted a way to get that data, so we used Google Spreadsheets to create a spreadsheet of this, which is very easy to do. You can just type Google Spreadsheets. There you go, first hit. Oh, it's just Google Sheets, not Spreadsheets. And then you just click the little new icon down here, and you have a blank spreadsheet. So now I've zoomed in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. In this first column here, A1, to get the table of footballers, we just put an equal sign and type import HTML, and you should see there it comes up. And then you need three different variables here, three different inputs. You want the URL, so in quotes, copy this URL. This is the Wikipedia page of transfers. That wasn't in the quotes. So in quotes you want that, and then you want comma, and then in quotes you want the word table because it is a table, HTML table, the data source, space, comma, and then you want the number that the table is on the page. So it is the first table on this page, 1. Then you can close the brackets. There you go. So now we have a spreadsheet that has all the dates, all the transfers, where they moved from and where they moved to. One of the problems is you sometimes see this. This seems to be where there was a flag on the... Sorry, this seems to be where there's a flag on the name of the football club. So Cardiff City has a little Welsh flag there, and if we look down here, Cardiff City has this twice. So you'll have to go through the data set and get rid of them yourself, but in this example I'm not going to bother. So I'm in our studio now. The first thing what I'm going to do in our studio is create a graph file that we can explore in Gephi. Now we could import the CSV straight into Gephi, but there's some issues with IDs and unclean data and stuff. So I'm just going to do a few lines in our studio first. The first thing I want to do is load the CSV. So in the file explorer down here, I've navigated to where my CSV is. I have actually edited the CSV a bit, so it only contains two columns, a source column and a target column. So basically I deleted everything apart from the column that explains where they're from, where the where the player's from, and the column that explains where the player's going to. So the first thing I want to do is create a data frame from CSV. So read.csv, the name of the CSV. There is a header in this file, so I'll put header equals true because I'll put source and target as my headers for columns, and then the separator for me is just a comma because it's normal CSV. So if you press the little run button to just run that command, and now I've got a data frame of all the clubs and the source, where the player came from, where they went to. If that doesn't work, you just want to go to Tools. I don't know if you can see it if I'm recording it properly here, but you want to get to Set Working Directory, Files, Pane, Location. If it doesn't work, and then it should work. Usually here, if it doesn't work, it's because it can't find CSV. And so the next thing we want to do is create a graph out of that data frame. It's quite easy when you've got a source column and a target column. Just create an object, call it G, or graph actually, and then the command is graph.data.frame, and then the name of the data frame that I want to turn into a graph. Now this might not work. What you'll have to do is make sure you've got the iGraph package installed. I have got it installed, but if you've not, you just go to packages, install, type iGraph, press install, and then down here where iGraph will appear, just make sure it's ticked. So I'm going to press run to run that. So now I've got graph object in my environment. Finally, I'm just going to output this to a file that I can explore in Gephi. Write.graph, the name of the graph, which was just graph, and then the file name. So file equals, just call it graph.graphml. We'll save it as a graphml file. Format equals graphml. So now we've got a graph file. If I run that. So now we've got a graph file of the data that we found in Wikipedia that said where the player is coming from, where it's coming to, and we can open that in Gephi. So when you open Gephi, this is what it looks like. Just click open graph file, the graphml file. Yeah, they are directed. So now we have a bunch of clubs, and this line means that there's been a transfer between the clubs. So the labels aren't correct on them. So the first thing we need to do is go to the data lab, and then the name, copy that, copy data to column, name to label. There we go. Now if we go back, we can see that West Ham, that might not be a good example. So West Brom sent a player to Heracles. Now the IDs are still wrong because we didn't edit the format before. Just remember there was those little flags and the data was a bit messy. You're gonna have to tidy that up yourselves. Halifax Town and Millwall had some going on. A lot of players seem to be going to Millwall. Someone from Ipswich. Was that Ipswich Town? Anyway, let's. You can play this at your own time. You can do all the stuff that people do community detection. Everyone seems to like that. And then we can colour it by community detection, whatever. People like doing the between us centrality stuff, don't they? Make nodes bigger if they've got a higher between us centrality. We've done all that in class. You see Leeds seem to be high on that score. You can then mess around with the layout algorithms. This doesn't look right. I bet this will make it dead small. Yeah, let's do expansion. There we go. Wow, look at that. So now we have a map of, let's zoom in a bit, of all the teams and where players went. So players have been between Copenhagen and Charlton Athletic, Liverpool. A lot of players in and out of Liverpool this season. Southampton. Someone went from Southampton to Liverpool. So we can just validate that very quickly by just checking the Wikipedia page, I guess. So, what was it? 2014 English transfers. So who was it that Southampton? Yeah, so there was Ricky Lambert between Southampton and Liverpool. So these connections seem to be, after a quick one-person validation, they seem to be right. But then you can do what you like with that.